The Italian city of Cagliari welcomed an ITU World Cup event for the first time as a large field of 65 elite men lined up for the sprint distance event. With just over a week to go until Olympic qualifying ends, there would be a final scramble for points. A 750-metre one-lap swim got the event underway, and with cooler temperatures, wetsuits were worn. It was soon Frenchman Aurelien Raphael quickly into his stride as he looked to avoid trouble around the turns with such a large field. Raphael managed to hang on to a slender lead as they exited the water, but Viain from South Africa was right behind him as the shorter distance had failed to stretch the field out too much. Raphael invariably leads out of the swim, while Solvald is trying to claim a third spot for his country at the Rio Olympics. The 18-kilometre bike would be tough, a tour of the old town through the hilly narrow streets that would provide a great spectacle. Raphael had soon managed to establish an advantage, with the chasers getting split into smaller groups behind him. The climb was brutal, 100 metres over 2.5 kilometres on each of the 4 laps. But as Raphael negotiated the hill, the chasers weren't far behind. Fellow Frenchman David House has been an intermittent starter this year and failed to finish in Mooloolaba earlier in the calendar. As the athletes hit the downhill section, there was the chance to build up a head of steam. Raphael now had Italy's Alessandro Fabian and Norwegians Jørgen Gundersen and Kristian Blummenfelt for company. By the midway point of the bike, 10 men were now riding together, working hard to build up a good pace. That group soon fragmented into 7 as the hill was proving a real test, and with Blummenfelt involved at the front, the group got smaller as they reached the steepest part of the course. However, the chasers weren't giving up just yet and were working hard to stay within touching distance of the leaders. As the lead group hit the bell lap, there was one more time to negotiate the hill and see who had the running legs left to close out a podium finish. Blummenfelt announced himself as a top contender when he went off the front at the grand final in Edmonton 2 years ago. No medal there, would the island of Sardinia prove to be his breakthrough. The 5-kilometre run was a great view of the ocean over the 3 laps, with Blummenfelt having French, Luxembourg and fellow Norwegian athletes for company. Italy's Fabian was running solo as he looked to use his superior running pace to catch the leaders, who were staying together as a group of 5 in the early stages. As the leaders reached the turn, the chasers were desperately trying to make up the gap, led by Stefan Justus. But Blummenfelt was making sure the leaders kept the turnover high and was starting to open up a bit of a gap at the front. The Norwegian was looking stronger and stronger as the race wore on and was desperate to close out his first World Cup victory. Raphael had no answer to the Norwegian's breakaway and was now running solo in second. Blummenfelt now had the finish line in sight and knew the race was his, and he was able to slow and enjoy the moment, crossing the line in exactly 56 minutes as his steady rise up the rankings continued. 20 seconds later, Raphael rounded the corner to take the silver, and another Frenchman came in third, Viain with the bronze.
I feel awesome. It was really tough, especially after like 10k on the bike. Simon, the French guy, were attacking in the hill, and I had to give it all I had just to stay on this wheel. So
I think the more difficult it's on bike, and on run it's a good sensation, and very happy.
I'm feeling happy, but a bit disappointed with my run. But yeah, first podium, so I'm still enjoying it.